Step forth if you have understood the meaning of your journey. Defeat me, command me to step aside. Show me that you are worthier than I to rescue her. Then, the threads of all fate will be yours to reweave.
Amazing friends, Flobius here, diving into Genshin Impact's 5.7 special program in order to divulge secrets and discern hidden meanings. If you don't want to be spoiled about anything Genshin Impact, Honkai Impact, or any other Impact, turn away now. I've watched the entire program a few times over, and while there is a lot to say on the entire program, I'm zooming in on the 5.7 trailer, which is how the special program begins. And, wow, there's a lot to unpack because the Genshin Impact 5.7 special program teased us with a medley of lore bombs and questions answered. And, in time-honored Hoyo tradition, they did it cryptically and confusingly, blending mismatched audio and video clips together to confuse us players and keep us guessing. It's easy to watch this preview trailer and come to a myriad of conclusions based on the snippets of information with which we've been provided. But we always do that. We always jump to conclusions based on 2 minutes of footage, and we always come up an answer short. Because that's how Hoyo wants it. This time, friends, I'm approaching the breakdown of this video from a different angle, which is to say I am breaking it down entirely. I brought the 5.7 trailer into a video editing software program and broke it down scene by scene. I then played a game of matching each scene to its corresponding scenes. Themes with themes. Which wasn't hard to do, as cutting up scenes is what I do for a living, so that none of us watch this trailer and get the wrong idea. When taken out of its current order and placed into a more holistic, chronological order, we find ourselves with clear moments of the Abyss Order gathering in Natlan, of Traveler and an unknown Conrian girl watching over the Abyss sibling, of Skirk engaged in battle with whom we can only assume is her master, Surtalogi, and so on. The questions I had after I watched the original trailer dissipated, replaced by entirely new questions I'm hoping we can answer together. Once I moved all of the scenes into groups of correlating scenes, true scenes emerged. What's interesting about these scenes is that, with the exception of the Dahlia demo and the Skirk demo, the audio for most of them no longer pertains to the theme. The dialogue from the characters is laid over the video and most likely occurs at some other point in the game and is meant to mislead us and plant false theories into our heads. So here's Hoyo confusing us all over again. Let's not fall for it. Using what we already know about the game, coupled with context clues from within the video itself, let's piece things together. Minus the character demos, here's what I came up with when I resorted the scenes.
まさに滅びの災いと呼ぶにふさわしいわ。終わりなき苦痛と消えることのない呪い。だからよそ者なんて信用するなって言ったんじゃないか。そして救世主の誕生。運命の食器はついに役目を果たしたの。本当に彼女の声が聞こえなくなってしまうから。お兄ちゃんはいつも運命を変えようとしてる。でも今回は何で500年前にお兄ちゃんと再会し、いずれ本物の旅の終点で2人の新たな始まりが待ってる。アビス教団の名は知ってたが、これほど大規模で広範囲な動きを見せるのは初めてだ。まるでナタ相手に戦争を仕掛けようとしてるような。いるじゃない、すぐそこに。戦線は総崩れだ。宇宙船スリープポット？まさかお前がテイワットに来た時に乗ってた宇宙船のことか？この数ヶ月の間で42の星が消えた。何者かがずうずうしくもこの世界から吸い取っているのだ。災いはいつか必ず訪れる。みんなもそう言ってるわ。彼女の存在を無視し続けたらいつか
私の夜はここで終わる。だがお前の旅はまだまだ続く。
お前は私の師匠極悪鬼スルトロッチを知っているのだろう。
真っ向の剣ダインスレイブ、これがお前の望んだことか。
敬意などとうの昔に消え去玉の傲慢さと
としても止めてみせる。
よくやったスカーク、今回も生き残れたか。
今もなお運命の食器は動いているのか。
なぜお前が鈍性のクジラの剣能を持っている。
極悪鬼すると
邪悪さに気づいた時にな。
する機会を逃すわけにはいかないから。
宙に帰るだろう。
In the original trailer, we're made to think Traveler is overlooking the Abyss Horde as they gather. We are led to believe Dainsleif also confronts the same Abyssal Horde. However, if you notice, the Abyssal creatures we see with Dainsleif do not coexist with the Abyssal Horde. Two different time frames. Several lesser-ranked Abyssal creatures, such as Rift Wolves and Abyss Mages, converge in the first scenario. Dainsleif meets with the Iniquitous Baptists in the next. Traveler is staring at a curious object in his hand with no evidence that anyone else exists with him at that moment. The question then becomes, are these creatures gathering in Natlan now, or is this a vision from the past? I believe we're looking at now and 500 years ago. Hoyo is juxtaposing the past with the present, trying to make it look like it's all occurring at the same time. Dainsleif meets with an Iniquitous Baptist. I say an because there isn't only one. Humans imbued with abyssal powers are able to transform into Iniquitous Baptists if they choose. Given his lack of action against the Abyss, there's a real possibility that Verdoffelnir became a Baptist. We have previously discovered that Dainsleif led an assault against his brother, one of the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah, along with 6 other heroes. This could have occurred in Natlan. He could have received help from the 6 tribes. Is Dain confronting his brother here? Is this the event that culminates in Dainsleif vanquishing and containing his brother? Why is Verdoffelnir locked up in that chained crystal? And if we unlocked that chained crystal, would we find an Iniquitous Baptist? There is a flip side to this argument. Iniquitous Baptists can imbue humans with the powers of the Abyss. So was Dainsleif confronting his brother, or was he asking his brother for abyssal powers? Is this really what you want, Twilight Sword? We are shown scenes of a wispy little ghost person, and scenes of an altogether different ghost-type person with Traveler. The scenes are matched together in the preview, but look closely. It's 2 different ghosts, 2 different times, and I believe one of them is a young Skirk. Look at this one. Look at the arms and the legs. Then look at Skirk's appendages, the matching hair. The way Skirk longingly stares at the moon in the same fashion that the little ghost person does, the same aura of loneliness we know Skirk to have. I believe this is Skirk's original form prior to coming to Teyvat, prior to being found in the Abyss. Then he was a ghost spirit once. As for the other ghost being, aside from Skirk, the only person we see accompanying the Traveler during the trailer is the unknown Conrian girl. We know what happened 500 years ago, and we know that this storyline is all about reuniting with the twin. My thoughts are that the Conrian girl we see was someone who lived 500 years ago. Ghost figure we now see is her form in the present, leading us to a way that will bring us to the past. In the trailer, Skirk tells us that in the past few months, 42 of them have gone out. In the original Japanese language, she actually tells us that 42 stars have gone out. She's talking about the stars. Her voice line while fighting even mentions stars going out.
星々よ静かに眠れ
In the television series Doctor Who, a popular show about a time-traveling alien who often encounters and corrects world-ending calamities, a storyline is dedicated to the stars going out. I often find parallels to and Easter eggs from Doctor Who within Genshin Impact. One of the developers is a fan of the Doctor and is following the stars going out plotline. In Doctor Who, the stars going out meant all timelines converged and it was the end of the universe.
She said the stars are going out.
Yeah, but that world's gone.
No, but she said it was all worlds. Every world. She said the darkness is coming, even here.
In Genshin, perhaps it's the beginnings of the Finality. When Skirk confronts Surtalogi, he displays eyes in the sky just like Renova. But is it Surtalogi who emerges from the rift, or simply one of his minions? In the 5.6 trailer, a voiceover everyone assumed was Rhyndarter speaking to Albedo turned out to be Barbeloth. Rhyndarter wasn't even present during the quest. Hoyo does that a lot. They take the voice of someone and they attribute it to another character in order to leave people confused. So does this voice belong to Surtalogi, or is Skirk fighting his minion or another pet? It very well could be Surtalogi. We fight a very similar phantom inside the Great Narwhal after all. Although, on that note, the phantom within the Narwhal could also be a minion for Surtalogi. The full program tells us that, after meeting Skirk and encountering the Abyss, the Traveler begins having nightmares. We see Traveler's eyes open to 5 spiritual figures. My first guess is this represents the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah, but I have no backing on that other than the number 5. Based on the mention of nightmares and the fact that we have previously encountered past traces of our twin, I'm led to assume that the interaction teased with our twin is another vision or nightmare, or that they do not truly get together in a physical sense. Traveler is viewing something that already happened just like he's done before. Traveler is not physically with their sibling. The Japanese version of this trailer says, "My brother always wants to change fate. This time I will stop him." And Looming is speaking. Does this point to a time loop? When the Traveler is with the Conrian girl, his consciousness is what's 500 years in the past with Looming. This comprises his nightmare. She's using that device to pull his thoughts to her. Perhaps by that device she's holding. Is it truly the Loom of Fate?
Though we need not rush, brother. I have more than enough time to wait for you. We have always had enough time. I have more than enough time to wait for you. We have always had enough time. We have always had enough time.
Friends, I have had a theory about the twins for some time. This trailer is cementing that theory in my head, especially the part where the Abyss sibling tells us we will return to the real universe one day with the end of your journey. The twins are trapped in 2 time loops, eternally separated by 500 years. The Abyss sibling has discovered this and intends to blow up the whole thing in order to end the time loop and reunite with their sibling. Once the Abyss twin does this, ends their journey, a new journey will begin for them in real time with them together. Finally, after countless loops spent 500 years apart, they will be reunited. We will return to the real universe one day with the end of your journey. They are in the real spatial universe. They just don't exist in the real-time universe because they're trapped in a time loop, and the Abyss Twin thinks they finally know a way out the Loom of Fate. And if you think about it, Genshin told us this from the very beginning. What was happening? Way back before the game even premiered, in the Travail trailer, Dainsleif said to us that our journey is at an end and we must defeat him and take the threads of fate. Because, currently, the end of our journey is the same as the beginning. Time is meaningless. You and I are clearly looking at the same thing. Space is meaningless. Until your destiny and mine collide, entwine all those threads together. The twins are in the same space at different times. When they're together at the same time, they're in different spaces. A space and time for you. The traveler comes across evidence that their sibling was in Natlan, yes, but the sibling was in Natlan 500 years ago, and the traveler is just now coming across the evidence of that journey, the same one he's on now, 500 years later. The question now becomes, why are they eternally separated? And what will happen if the two of them come together again? What is the Sustainer of Heavenly Principles trying to prevent? When we met the Sustainer, was it for the first time? Or was it a repeat appearance, the same thing that happens every time they reunite, only to be separated again? As I've mentioned, I've had a theory in my head for a while now that the twins are living the same story with similar people in it, only 500 years apart. That whenever they get together, there's a cataclysm that separates them again. I'm stuck on a couple of details. With the traveler learning how to use abyssal powers, and his soul being mentioned as corrupt, is he now in danger of becoming like the Abyss Twin? Was the Sustainer being a quote-unquote good guy when she attacked them? Was she trying to delete the twins or reformat them with her black tide power? Was she preventing something disastrous? Another detail I'm stuck on is, this whole time, has the traveler been dead? In the original Japanese, the statement isn't your soul is corrupt, your soul is missing. The storylines of Genshin Impact and its sister game Honkai Star Rail have shown major parallels recently, and in the most recent patch of Honkai Star Rail, it's discovered that the Trailblazer, HSR's equivalent to the Traveler, has been dead for the entirety of the patch. It's why death can't touch him, and why fate can't sense him, because his soul has already left his body, and he was walking around as an empty husk. His soul was missing. It wasn't until another character made a huge sacrifice in order to reunite Trailblazer's body with his soul that the Trailblazer lived again. If Traveler has been dead this whole time, it would explain why Ermin's soul can't detect or obfuscate him. It would explain all the odd supernatural senses they exhibit. It would explain why the Abyss sibling is so angry. Why the Abyss sibling would go to these extreme lengths. To bring their beloved sibling back. To return their beloved sibling's soul to him. Is Looming trying to rewind time and save Aether from his death? Will he survive this time? And as for the comment about something leeching power from this world, I believe that's in the past as well, on Skirk's homeworld, wherever that may be. She laments about that homeworld, she misses it. She's perhaps the only one left of her kind. Another nod to Doctor Who. And there's nothing she can do to return what was taken from her. Her life, her world. This is what I've taken from 5.7's trailer, my friends, after deconstructing that trailer and putting it back together again. Believe me, I had completely different theories before I broke it all down. Putting things in the right category and order opened my mind up to a myriad of other possibilities. What do you think? Do you believe anything I've said here, or has Mom lost her mind? Either way, I always love to hear your comments. And if you have a moment, please check out my Genshin Impact gear and goodies ideas list on Amazon, as your support in this regard helps me keep my videos ad-free. As always, thanks for your support and time, for your comments, and your encouragement. The Genshin Impact 5.7 patch debuts on June 18, 2025. We'll find out then if I'm right about all this, if my theory about this has merit. Thus concludes this video, my friends. In some ways, the end of a video is the same as the beginning. In some ways, time is meaningless. Play nice, friends. As an afterthought, anyone notice something's missing in this trailer? Where the bleep is Paimon?